Hey, 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 everybody, it's me, Queenie Brown, and thank God it's Financial Freedom Fridays. You know, it's easy for us to think about things going very smoothly during peacetime. We don't think much about our day, we don't think much about how we spend, we don't think much about our lifestyle. But when times are different, like they are now, it's time to really think about doing things differently as well. So today, the Kingsman and I are going to talk about how do you show up and what options do you have in a wartime situation. Even though we know we're not in war, but we are definitely not in our normal. So let's talk about it. Join me, Mr. Donovan Yarbo, Mr. Dwayne Taylor. These are the Kingsmen. Thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you. I'm
What's
excited
going on,
about
family?
today. Go ahead,
Good evening.
Dwayne.
Good evening.
Yes, yes, yes. So we're excited about today. The topic came up, during wartime. Things are definitely different. You make decisions differently. You don't take the time to plan, to prepare, to do all these. Well, let me say that differently. You have to have prepared long before wartime, usually, and had a strategy in place. And hopefully you've been able to establish that in your life up to before the war starts. But once the war gets going, you need to be executing. You need to be making decisions quickly. And so today we want to just talk about how we are going to leverage the options that are available to us and do it quickly so that our options don't dry up, one, and so that we are in a better position to shore up our families and to stay protected as far as our finances and our legacy are concerned. So, gentlemen, let's get the conversation going. Who wants to go first?
I've already received instructions from General Taylor that I'll be going first today. So, good evening, family. And it's right that I go first today. When asked about a topic, this is one that I suggested because it did come straight down from one of my personal mentors, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, and a stream that he had with Patrick Bet David of Valuetainment. Just for reference, about wartime leaders and peacetime leaders. And I'm thinking about this time now, and yes, it doesn't feel like we're at war because there are no guns, there are no bombs, there are no sirens going off. But we are truly at war, and you know it. You can feel it. Something's different. This is not the norm. Now we're at 30 plus million people filing for unemployment benefits, not including those that worked private jobs in the self-employed area that didn't have unemployment insurance, that can't file, but they're out of work. Their business is no longer sufficient, no longer earning the income to support their lifestyle. So that's why we're sitting around waiting for Congress and Senate to vote for more free bread, otherwise called stimulus checks. So during this drastic time, this drastic change, this jerk in your whole lifestyle, it calls for different decisions, different moves to be made. Like Queenie said, you can have a plan, which is good. That's just the first part. Then you have to execute. It's not just enough to know what to do. You have to do it. And some famous rapper, somebody said there's levels to this, right? You do it on your level. You don't worry about somebody else's level and what they're doing and how they're moving. You move on your level to put your family, your posterity, yourself in the right position, because there's only one economy that matters on this planet to each individual, and that's the economy in their own home. For years, if you have been listening to the right people, you would know that this economy was going to crash, that this dispensation of time, the dispensation of the fiat dollar, the fiat currency, and the way this market has been going, that it could not continue like this. I like to look at it like this. In 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard, and then we became a fiat currency. Well, in 2008, hyperinflation was put in place as the market should have crashed and crumbled to nothing. But the Fed started doing what they are doing now. And if you listen to Jerome Powell, the current Fed chairman, they have pulled out all the tools, and literally they only have one tool, and that is a printing press where they can print up as much currency as needed. And they've told Congress and the president, hey, our checkbook is open. Well, what's their
Mm.
checkbook? Their checkbook is their ability to tax you and me for life, putting us in indentured servitude unless we do things differently. These drastic times, ladies and gentlemen, no, that's in that's not personal. These drastic times, family, calls for us to make different moves. And I don't like to say drastic changes because it seems like, oh my God, I got to reinvent my whole life. No, but you do have to shift and be ready to shift and be ready to make wartime decisions, which are quick. Get it done now. Like another mentor from a book that I read, where is it at? Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, T. Harv Eker said that wealthy people make decisions off the ready, fire, aim principle, not ready, aim, fire. Meaning they get ready as quickly as possible and they fire and they decide to aim while they've already made a decision. Not getting ready and then aiming, calling the committee. Let me call in my mama and them, Pookie and them, Ray Ray and them. Let me ask everybody's opinion before
Mhm.
I shoot my gun and make this decision.
Mhm.
Over to you, Mr. Taylor.
Man, I don't even know where to start because I'm a little flustered this weekend anyway, just from the events that took place with me flying here to Houston. But because I see it a little bit different. I truly believe I do see it as a war because it's a war on my freedom.
Mm.
I truly believe that a war on our freedoms are truly taking place, and I'll start with this, and then I'll get into back, following up what you said. I'm coming down. I came down here to Houston to visit my niece and my family for her graduation party. And when I was getting off the plane, I heard something on the plane about filling out a piece of paper when you're getting off the plane. I had my headphones on, so I really didn't know. But as I got off the plane, there was like all these officers, and what they were doing was they was making you filling out this form asking you for your name. They wanted your license. They wanted your birthday. They wanted your home address, and they wanted the address of the location of where you were staying, right? Because what it was it was a if they determined that somebody had the virus, they were going to contact, and they were telling you while you were here that you had to self quarantine for 10 to 14 days. So basically, I'm only here for 4 days, and you telling me the time that I'm here, I can't go nowhere. And then what they threatened was with $1,000 fine, saying like if we sent somebody to that location and you weren't there, then you would get hit with $1,000 fine.
Wow.
I was like, it took everything in me. I was trying to be respectful, but I lost it. And there
Mm.
was even a woman, and I was cussing, and I was literally pissed. My blood was literally boiling because I know as a woke citizen of this country that our freedoms are being snatched.
Yeah.
And it didn't just start now, it started back in 9/11, but we ain't even gonna talk there. But
Yeah.
that's when the big change happened. That's when they really started. And what's taking place now is they're just basically they're testing the waters. They're seeing how we respond, what we're willing to take, what we're willing to receive. And it's coming down the pipeline where we truly are going to be living in a warlike zone for the ones who aren't falling for the Kool-Aid. Like we not drinking, some of us are not drinking the Kool-Aid that is being served to us, right? What was that dude, Jim Jones? They drank the Kool-Aid and guess what happened? They perished. Well, likewise, if you keep drinking the Kool-Aid of CNN and Fox News and all these other, guess what's going to happen? Oh, perfect example. Let me kind of back that up. I know I'm kind of a little off topic a little bit, but we'll
Let it
flow with the
roll.
spirit. I was just watching
Shaw.
Hobbs and
Hobbs and Shaw.
Shaw, and there was a scene in there where this agency controlled all the news media, and they made up a story about Hobbs and Shaw, and they started putting it on every news media
Mm.
outlet that they owned and controlled. And I was like, wow. I was like, y'all have to wake up because they're telling the narrative, and then the narrative is being told by the news agencies. And they're following the program to the T because why they have to. Because if I own a company, I tell you this is what you're going to report, that's what you're going to report. And we truly are at war. So, yes, we do have to put on a different type of cap. You got to put on a general's cap. But the problem is, you've been taught to just be a soldier your whole life. I mean, a grunt,
Mm.
right? Because you've been schooled, right? So, your schooling has taught you just to be a grunt, right? What we call grunts in the army was the cats that basically they didn't have a specialty per se. They just was picking up a rifle and basically was the pawn in the war, right? Then you had the generals, you had the captains, you had the first sergeants, you had those, the sergeant majors. Those are the ones that were making the decisions. And like Mr. Yarbo said, I was in the military and I was around the first Gulf War. I didn't make it in. We was prepping to go. But yes, the decisions that were being made around that time were happening quickly. And I'll give you an example. In my company, we got alerted. Our battalion, I was in 262 ADA up at Fort Drum, New York at the time, and we got alerted to go. And we were literally packing up to leave, and in an instant, they took a different division somewhere out here in Texas, and we weren't going. But yeah, so decisions are made very rapidly in a wartime situation. Yes, we're so used to sitting at home where everything was comfortable. We're mesmerized by our TV screen, right? Our television, as these television shows that we're watching and we're infatuated with. That the only thing we can come back to and talk about at our jobs is either gossip or what happened on TV last night, right? Because when you're someone that comes and talks about a dream or, hey, what can we do that's better in our lives, they look at you like you're the crazy one because you're talking about something. I don't want to talk. That's too deep. What?
Right. Right.
Talking about a dream is
Yeah.
deep?
That's deep.
Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes to show you why, because we've been so dumbed down and we don't trust our own. They've done such a good job for us not to trust ourselves that we have to rely on them to make the best decision for us. And you see that happening right now because it's in what's the word? For our safety. They're using that word. It's for your safety. It's
Mm-hmm.
for your safety. And anybody that comes with a different variable to the story that's being told on CNN, the major news outlets, is being shut down. That alone should tell you something is wrong. That
Mm-hmm.
alone should tell you as a United States citizen that they are shutting voices down. You should be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
You should take a warlike mentality against that because they're taking your rights right in front of you and you don't even care because you're afraid of something that they're making bigger than what it truly is. I'm not denying. I'm not saying people aren't catching something. I'm not saying that, and no disrespect to the people that have lost their lives. But what I am saying is when a president of what was it? What was the country?
Tanzania.
Tanzania send in a vial, made up some fake names, and gave goat and some papaya DNA, and they came back positive. That should tell you something's wrong with this story. But go ahead, Mr. Yarbo or
Mm.
Queenie.
As you were saying that, what vision popped in my mind. You all remember that movie that Will Smith did with the robots,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and the robots had the people locked in their houses, and they kept
Mm-hmm.
saying, "This is for your protection. This is for your protection."
Mm-hmm.
That thought just came to my mind, and the whole message around the movie was that you are under control and stay there.
Yeah.
You
Stay
know,
there. Stay in your place.
stay in your place. And if you don't, we're gonna take everything you have. We're gonna, ruin your name. We're gonna have people chasing after you and all the other
Yeah.
stuff like they're trying to do to you. You
Yeah.
know,
Will Smith, enemy of the state.
Yeah.
same thing.
Same thing.
Hmm.
We've been watching this over and over
Yep.
again. This
They've
is
been
creepy.
programming us to receive it. That's why there's no fight
Mm.
Yep.
because we've seen it. We've They already pre-programmed us to respond exactly the way they wanted us to respond.
And here's the thing. Here's how they wanted us to respond: to watch.
Yep.
Like we're
Just to be
watching a
like,
movie
yeah.
play out in real life, and we're sitting here watching it. Like I can't believe this is happening. Because it's funny, something hit me, man. That we talk about slave times and like, yeah, man, they lucky I wasn't born back then, man, because I wouldn't have stood for that. You know what I'm saying? You put an axe in my hand, you put
Right.
you put the tools in my hand. Somebody was gonna die. You wasn't just gonna
Thank you.
run over me. And it's happening now because they dumbed us down and like Queenie was mentioning earlier before we started the stream, things that may be too deep for some people on this that's listening now. Some family that may have joined in that's just connecting to this, but there's different toxins and things that has been put in the water, put in the food. I mean, we talk about they're doing stuff for our safety. Well, they weren't thinking about our safety as they're subsidizing Monsanto and all these corn manufacturers, subsidizing farmers to make corn so they can use high fructose corn syrup, which is literally
Poison.
made an epidemic boom of diabetes in the
Mm-hmm.
United States. And then they tell you there's no cure for it. You need to prick your finger and see where you're at and keep taking this shot. Or you can get this thing attached to your body where you can turn up the dose on your own. But they won't tell you that you can reverse it just by changing your diet,
Mm-hmm.
by changing the foods that you intake. Now, they won't tell you that. Why? Because Big Pharma needs customers. Well, I'm telling you now, drastic times take different measures now. You need to start changing your diet. You need to start changing the way you bank, because that's the main thing we want to talk about. We want to talk about your economic power.
Mm-hmm.
You have to supercharge your banking, right? The only cash that you should have on hand is an emergency fund that you can get to immediately. There is no need to save money in a banking institution where your interest is less than 0.1%. Not less than 1%, is 0.009 on average. Yeah, you may have enough money, enough currency to put in the bank, and they give you 0.12% interest, but it would still take over 100 years to double your money in a traditional banking institution. The only way to supercharge your savings and your economy is to acquire assets that are made for a time like this. In an economic crisis, there are assets that your God, our Father, put in this earth for you to acquire and to protect you and your family. Drastic times facilitate the need to make a decision quickly, not to continue to mull it over and hesitate and think about it and wonder if this is the right thing to do. No, it's time to ready, fire, and then aim. And you got people here that will help you aim. People like Mr. Taylor, people like Queenie Brown, people like Ty Best, people like Robert Kiyosaki, people like Mike Maloney, people like Gerald Salenti, people like Peter Skiff. I hope you're taking notes so you can see that this isn't my message. I'm only echoing those that have seen the writing on the wall and have started to sound the alarm years ago. Back to you guys.
The only thing and you know, and that's what I want people to understand. Like, we're only, we decided to make a decision to learn some new information. And the only thing, yeah, there is nothing new under the sun, right? Nobody's going to come out with really no true information, right? So all we really can is repeat and echo some of the knowledge and the wisdom of these other people that have went before us, right? But we've made the decision to listen to the other side of the story, right? In order to get the full story, you have to look at both sides. There's two sides to a sheet of paper, and if you're only reading one sheet, one side of the paper, you're missing the other side. Bless you. And so it's going to take for you to make a different change right now. You have to look at the situation we're in. Nothing's going to go back to quote unquote normal. Like the way of doing what we used to do and work how we used to work, that is over. You have to realize that there is a different way that you're going to have to earn your money. And I'd be proud to say that network marketing, affiliate marketing, direct marketing is one of the best opportunities during this time. They even said it during times of crisis. These type of companies do the best. Why? Because people finally wake up and see that, yo, wait, I get paid. This system lets me acquire a product, become a business owner, and share it with other people and allow them to become business owners as well and product users. Like, it's the best system that's ever been designed, but people hate on it because they don't understand it or they failed at it, right? Because once again, it takes people skills to do this business. And if you don't have no people skills, you don't become that successful. And when you don't become that successful, you quit. Because that's what happens. The people who have the best people skills are the ones that make the most money in these companies. And Perfect example. There was this one gentleman. His name was Holton Bugs. This was his story, real quick. He was doing this industry for 18 years. Had very, very little here, little there. Couldn't get it to work. And then one year, something clicked. And in 5 years' time, that dude was making $1 million a month
Mm.
from this type of industry. People who have a job think it's impossible to make $10,000 a week, $20,000 a week, $40,000 a week from doing these type of businesses because they don't understand the business model. They don't understand the system. If you would really just sit down, please tell me what is illegal about me being the CEO of a company and I want to get my product out there, but I'm willing to pay you as a business owner to come join my company and help me sell my product. What's illegal? Please tell me. Please, please tell me what's illegal about that. Please tell me what's illegal about me owning a company and then me setting up a system where I get to allow other people to become business owners and sell the product and take the product at the same time. Please tell me what's illegal. Go
And
ahead.
Dwayne, let me shed something different on that as well too, man. Just an additional layer. And I heard this today, and as you're talking, it just blew up on the inside of me. It's really a mindset where you can truly see who a person is and how they feel about you. Most every network marketing company has a product that people use already. It may not be the name brand that they use, right? And you hear this a lot. Well, I don't want anybody getting rich off of me or making money off of me. But meanwhile, they go to the big box retailer and buy the exact same product from the big box retailer, which makes the people at the top all the money. That's where the people at the top make all the money. Look what
Hmm.
happened with Amazon during this crisis right now. Jeff
Hmm.
Bezos' wealth has increased by millions, where they're already calculating him to be the first trillionaire, and he's 800 billion away. But they can already say he'll be the first trillionaire.
Oh my
Why? Because a lot
God.
of his wealth is wrapped up in the stock, and the stock has gone up another 15, 20%.
Mm.
Why? Because everybody's sitting at home, quarantined, just clicking away and ordering. A lot of people are ordering knickknacks and things that they really don't need. Me, I am on Amazon and I'm ordering things that I need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ordering things that I need for a time of war that I can also still use in a time of peace. It's called preparation. You prepare for the worst, hope for the best. I'm prepared during this time. But that mentality of people saying, I don't want anybody getting rich off me and that's not for me. But meanwhile, you're using the same products, goods, and services that your friend is offering, but you don't want to support your friend. You don't want to see them win because you know you're the employee, they're the dreamer. So I'm not going to help the dreamer win. Shame on you. Shame on you right now for discrediting this industry because of your personal beliefs of somebody trying to make money off of you. You're right, somebody's trying to make money off of you. Look at your cash flow right now. When you get paid, all of it goes to somebody else. You are financing the world and don't even realize it while you continue to go check to check. Oh, no, I'm not check to check. Well, this crisis showed a lot of people that their wealth measured in time was 1 month. 2 months. Some people may have had 5 months, but guess what? They itching now because we've been locked down for 2 months when they said 2 weeks. It's been 2 months now, and they've seen 2 months of their wealth erode quickly, and nothing's refilling that pot anymore. But that's what this industry was built for. Peer to peer, person helping person, and our business is the greatest on the planet. Why? Because we leverage asset accumulation. We leverage asset accumulation. The only thing that I do in my business with Mr. Taylor and Miss Queenie Brown is we acquire assets. This here is silver, but the main one that we do is God's money, gold, which he spoke about from Genesis to Revelation. So don't tell me you're a believer walking around here with a face mask on and you still don't have any gold. You're ensuring that you don't catch the Rona, but you're not ensuring that your family doesn't go down the tubes with this economic crash. Back to you, Miss Brown.
Whew. I have no words.
I,
Um,
I want to say
Go
this,
ahead.
Ms. Yarbo, and speaking of that, what's so funny is, right? when you're growing up, you're with your friends and y'all are dreaming, talking about, hey, let's build this together. And then one of y'all get the opportunity to build something together, and then you poo-poo on them because it's one of those things, right? Oh, it's one of them things. And it's so sad that the whole time you're talking about finding a way out, and then somebody comes with a way out, and just because it's not comfortable or it's not something you quote unquote really like, but you go to a job you don't really like every day. You go to a job you don't really like every day, but you're doing it. Why? Because you need the money, right? I need this money, so I got to go to a job. Okay, if that's the case, then still let's build something together, you and me. Like, we can build wealth together. Like, now all of a sudden, I can't be your friend and we can't build wealth together now because it's
Mm,
one of them things.
mm.
Mm.
What happened? What happened to us just a month ago talking about how we wanted to be free and we needed to do better, and then an opportunity presents itself, and here is an opportunity for freedom, but now all of a sudden it didn't come in the package you wanted, and now we ain't even friends no more because yeah, I am constantly like, yo, this is what we talked about. Let's go. This is it. And yeah, think about it. Anytime you get something great, you always telling your friends and family all the time. So what's the difference between the opportunity to tell your family like, hey, we can grow together and build wealth together? But I will say one thing about our community is we've been broken, right? We don't come together as community.
Man.
They've done a wonderful job to keep us separated, where we don't come together as community to build. I think it's turning now. I think you're seeing more of the, I don't want to say leaders, but I would say more of the people of our 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 genome that are in higher places beginning to come together to say, yo, we need to build together, right? Because it has to take place. That's the only way. That's the only way you get out of this mess. You can't get out of this system solo. You have to do it with others. No, Jeff Bezos ain't do it by himself. Warren Buffett ain't do it by himself. Yeah, all these people say they self-made. No, they not. They not self-made. Why? Because they need people. They need Jeff Bezos need people buying his products or buying using his platform to buy products. Warren Buffett need people to trade and do whatever companies he owns. He need the people to buy that good service or product
Right.
at that company that he owns to make the money he owns. So nobody ever does it. Ain't nobody self-made. You can't never claim that title. Ain't nobody ever self-made because you
Right.
need people to make that bread.
You can have the self-made idea, the dream, but then you have to
Right.
connect to other dreamers and other builders, and every business needs people.
Every
That's
business.
the way money, when money moves, wealth is made. And the beautiful thing of Care Bars International is we make money when we move money to ourselves. I don't move my money to Dwayne Taylor. I don't buy gold from Dwayne Taylor. I acquire gold. I exchange these debt notes directly for real money gold in a system that then creates a commission and payment for Dwayne Taylor. But I'm not concerned with his pockets. I'm concerned with making sure that my family is insured. That's why you pay your car insurance. That's why you pay your homeowner's insurance. That's why you pay your life insurance, just in case. Well, we're in that moment now where there's no more just in case. It's happened. Oh my God, man, I'm about to get in trouble in my household for saying this, but the shit has hit the fan.
All day.
It has hit the fan.
It
And you
has.
know if it's going to hit the fan or what. No, it's hit the fan and you can see it and you're sitting waiting. Like Mr. Taylor said, you're relying on someone else to make the decisions for your life. You're waiting on Congress to see if they're going to pass out some more of that free bread. You're waiting to see if the NBA is going to come back on TV. Are they going to allow them to run the tournament? Man, I miss my sports. Man, you are missing the greatest wealth transfer in history is happening right under your nose right now, and you have the most powerful tool on the planet to be involved in it, and it's called your smartphone. But you're using it to stream, you're using it to argue back and forth, you're using it to debate, you're using it to watch mindless videos and repost mindless videos. When this is the time to come together and build. I work for a company right now that has already let people know that we are downsizing. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are going to offer some packages for some older folks that may help them to go ahead and usher them into retirement, but it is restructuring. And now you're starting to hear all the, oh man, corporate America, how they going to do this? Because you are just a number. You are an employee, and you show up on the expense line of the
Mm-hmm.
financial statement. You don't show up on the asset line. You are not an asset
Mm.
for the company. You are an expense. You are a cog in the wheel to help us continue to push out this product or push out this service. We pass it on from this person to that person, and it all comes together. And it's this great big, we love our people and we're all concerned about the people. Well, now that the money didn't hit the fan, the CEO, he not taking a pay cut, making $42 million a year.
Mm.
I mean, bro, you can't take half that. You can't live off 20 million. You can't redistribute that to the people because we concerned about the people. No, we're all about the shareholders and the business being viable and trying to stay out of bankruptcy. So right now, we're going to give you another option. You got to find something else to do. But I see people getting angry, and I'm like, don't get angry and point the finger. Get angry and make a decision to better yourself, to put yourself in a better position where, guess what? You need for nothing and you need for no one. Oh my God, man, I thank you guys for joining in. Thank you for the love that you're showing us. Thank you for sharing this out. Get this information to your people. We have to connect, and the best way to connect, I have not seen anything greater than Karatbars International, where the only thing that we do is keep our money. We acquire assets, keep our money in a system of asset acquisition. And I can tell you right now, because I saw the research being done live on a YouTube and Facebook stream today. The places where you think you can go get gold and go get assets, they're out. Nothing's in stock. So yeah, you can go maybe make an order and hope that something's get delivered, but nothing's guaranteed. Well, we have an economic system based in gold. That is what the world is looking for. We have deals in place with countries that you know nothing about, but all you have to do is get positioned. And Herald Sites made it easy for you to get positioned. It's free. Doesn't require your social security number or any identifying objects of yourself, except to verify that you're a real person with the identification and where we're going to send the gold, verifying your address. That's it. Because Herald Site's mission was to free millions of people from this system of debt. And now you can see how this system of debt works by robbing from you and me, the average person who has no knowledge. But you don't have that excuse anymore. You have knowledge that there is a better way. Man, I could go on and on, Mr. Taylor. Back to you. I did want to say one thing, and I probably should save this for my closing, but this was a quote that I saw. And when I saw it, I was like, this is the perfect time for it. And it's a cycle.
Read it.
Because the world goes around and around as the world turns. Y'all watched that soap with your mom back in the day.
So did up in Germany.
Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Well, we went through those good times, and it created a lot of weaklings among us. And now those weaklings ascended to the hierarchy of our governments through academia, and now they have created these hard times. Well, now it's time for these hard times to produce the strong men and women to help us rise out of this and rise into the freedom that we rightly deserve as human beings on this here rock called planet Earth. Over to you guys.
I'll just say my closing statement is this. Think about this system, right? Because every business model is quote unquote a system, right? That's how money is created. Money is created through systems. You got to have a system in order to create money. If you go on Facebook, everything you see is get my system, get my course, get my system, get my system, buy my system, buy system. Okay. So if we go in system for system, every other system, they want you to buy their system in order to learn how to do and then make money, right? Because you got to buy the system first, then you got to learn their system, right? And then hopefully that system works for you, and then you make cash flow, okay? I want to close with this. Our system says this. Take some of the money that you already labored for. You're going to leverage your own money, and you're going to acquire an asset. And every time somebody acquires an asset for their family, that creates cash flow for you. We get paid to literally keep our own money. I need y'all to hear me. The carrot bar system is designed to pay you for keeping your own money. I'm gonna say it one more time, and then that's it for me. I'm gonna pass it over to you, Queenie. The carrot bar system pays us. It pays you.
Mm.
It pays you a residual cash flow that can be a couple of dollars to tens of thousands of dollars a week to keep your own money. And that's it. I'm done.
Mm,
Man, that last time you said it, man, my heart fluttered for real,
mm,
man.
wow. All right, people. So I'm gonna be putting a comment in the description that gives you a link where you can create your own free account. And as the guys always say, if someone else referred you to this video, please get back with them. But we're giving you an opportunity to create your own free account and an ability to save your own money and get paid to do it. So, unless there's any other final comments, gentlemen, I think that's it. This was good, good.
That's
You
it.
know,
Exactly.
I do have a final comment, and it's just
Okay.
some statistics, right? I just want to weave one little small timeline together for you. All right, there's something that most of you guys don't know about. It's called the World Economic Forum, where the 20 or 30 top billionaires in the world get together. And this the past year is in Davos, Switzerland, right? On January 21st through the 24th, they met, and they discussed things that don't uh, uh, need your approval. Why? Because they've ascended to a level where they literally think they're gods. They're above the law. The law, acquiesces to them. You know what I'm saying? Things, doors open when they walk without them touching it. Right. So during that meeting, I don't know what was said, but I know right after that meeting on January 24th is when Congress had their secret meeting. And then the congressmen came out and started selling their stocks. So they knew
Mm-hmm.
something back in January. And I can tell you right here, a senator in Georgia, the state that I live in, Kelly Loeffler, sold $18.7 million of stock. She
Mm.
liquidated $18.7 million after coming out of that meeting
And
because she knew
invested in it.
something was coming down the line. Did anybody tell you? No. They didn't need your approval. They
Mm,
didn't need your understanding. They didn't care
mm,
if you knew or not. They do not care about you. It's time for you to care for you and do the needful thing. And if there's one thing that I know in this world, we can argue all day about who's God, what's the death toll of COVID-19 right now, what city and state you should live in, what airline you should fly, whatever. But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, the only real money on this planet right now is 24 karat gold bullion, and you need to have you some, and you need to get it now. That's it for me. Thank you, Mrs.
mm.
Brown, for the platform once again. Thank God this Financial Freedom
Thank God.
Fridays.
Mm,
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the route we are on. That is where we're going. And we're
yes.
going from financially free. We're skipping over rich because riches can be lost. And we're going straight to being wealthy. Come with us.
Yes.
I implore you to, I counsel thee to, in the name of
All this good and holy.
all that's good and holy. Woo!
We love you, family. Thank God it's Financial Freedom Fridays. Make sure you click on the link that I'm going to put in the description in just about 5 minutes. And we will see you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment or tag the guys. We are here for you to answer any questions. If you need us to, we'll get on a live with you, a Zoom with you, and we can talk specifically and answer any questions that you might have. But the goal is for all of us to do this together. All right? All right. We love you, family. We'll see you all next week. God bless.
All right, family.